Hi, Dave Templeman here, talking about attitude. Zig Ziglar said that 85% of the people that get jobs and get ahead in those jobs is because of attitude. So you'd imagine attitude's a pretty important part of your job search, yeah? So today we're going to talk about attitude and what we can do to make sure that our head and our mind and our spirit is in the right place as we go out and look for a job. One of the things that you should remember is that attitude is totally under your control. The only person that can really tell you how you're going to behave and how you're going to respond is you. And so you have to remember that attitude is you. Nobody else can help you with your attitude. It's only you. Losing a job is tough. Being unemployed for a long period of time is even tougher. When you first lose your job, you experience feelings of shock. You're hurt. You're probably angry. You might even be afraid of what the next day holds. After a while, especially in this job market, you get frustrated. You might even be depressed. There's no question that you're going to be stressed out. The question is, how do we deal with that? I mean, you get stressed out mentally. You get stressed out physically. You get stressed out emotionally and spiritually. There might be pressure from your family to do something. A lot of people get late on bills. Sometimes you even have things repossessed, or possibly have your house foreclosed on. Unfortunately, these are just the realities of our economy today. So I want to do a little exercise with you. I want you to think of a number between 1 and 10. But before you think of the number, this is the scale. Number 1 is I'm in the pit. This is the worst time of my life. I can't imagine anything worse than this. 1, I'm in the pit. 10, I'm completely satisfied, content in all of my dealings. So where are you at? Are you in the pit? Are you at the very top of your game? 1 to 10. So here's something that you should think about. You're not the only one that's frustrated. You're not the only one that's worried about the future. Now, just because you're not the only one frustrated or worried about the future doesn't really change the situation you're in. But it should allow you to feel comfortable being honest with yourself and with other people about your situation. Because you're going to need help. And by getting help, your attitude is going to get better. So let's talk about dealing with anger for a minute. You know, anger is just one D short of danger. Anger is probably the worst thing that can affect your attitude as a job seeker. I talk to hundreds of people that come in and they're angry at their last employer. They're angry at their boss. Somebody else got to keep their job and they got fired. They felt they were mistreated while they were employed. Those are just feelings that are very natural, but they are things that you have to deal with. So how do you deal with anger? I guess the only way to deal with anger is forgiveness. You have to forgive those you're angry at. You have to remember that we're not perfect either, and that we've made other people angry as well. And this gets back to you control your attitude. You can remain angry, or you can forgive that person or company or whatever you're angry at. You can forgive them and look toward the future. So basically, when it comes to your attitude, here's the bottom line. You've got to deal with negative emotions. You've got to deal with the negative energy and put it behind you. You cannot have all of this stuff weighing on your shoulders and go out and conduct an effective job search. You have to be optimistic about the future. You need to be ready for people to say no. You need to be ready for unanswered voicemails. You need to be ready for people that won't get back to you and not let that affect your attitude. So how do you do that? The most important thing you can do is really just look to the future and look to it optimistically. Jeremiah says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." That's a pretty good promise, and that's a promise we can count on. So know that no matter what's going on with you right now, there's something in the future to look forward to. So let's talk about opportunity for a second. You know, I've been a technical recruiter for 10 years and I really love what I do. But there was a period of time before that, it was kind of a short period of time, 13, 14 years, that I sold pianos. And while it was satisfactory work, it really wasn't something I was passionate about. And there were times where I didn't want to get up at 9 o'clock in the morning, go to the store at 10 a.m., and then sit there until 9 p.m. That's just the reality of what I was doing. It was 12 hours a day, 60 to 70 hours a week. It was a grind. And it just wasn't where God wanted me to be. And I'm very thankful that I'm not doing that anymore. So were you unhappily employed? If that's the case, then you have reasons to give thanks that you're not employed anymore. Because let's talk about calling. It comes from your passion. It comes from your interests. The things that you really want to do. Just dream for a minute. Think about, if I could do anything, what would I do? Think about that. Because you know what? Sometimes that's what you should be pursuing. Did you know that there are more than 1,000 different industries? And each one of those industries has thousands of different employers. And each one of those employers has thousands, tens of thousands of different roles within the organization. There is so much out there, so much opportunity that you probably haven't explored. And that's something you should be doing. If you really want to have a positive attitude, really start to go out and look at what the job market has to offer you. Change. Sometimes change means changing our habits from a physical health standpoint, getting more exercise, eating better, sleeping better. You know, often your diet will affect the amount of time you get to sleep. And I know that when you're under stress, it's hard to sleep, but you need sleep. And so do what you can to change your routine so that you're eating right, you're getting the right amount of exercise, and you're getting the right amount of sleep. Mental health. Take care of your mental health. If you are spending time around a lot of people with a lot of negative energy, that is going to have a negative impact on your attitude. Find people that are uplifting. Find people that you like to be with, that don't drag you down but that lift you up. Find people that want to help you. Hang out with people that will help you maintain a good attitude. Another good way to take care of your mental health is to keep your mind sharp. You don't want to just get up at 9, have a bowl of cereal, maybe watch some TV, and then I'll get around to searching for a job this afternoon. You need to have a set schedule, just like if you had a job. Keep your mind active by setting goals, by planning your day, by planning your week. Go back and see how you did against those goals. Make it a game. You have to keep your mind sharp. The other part of taking care of yourself mentally is to take some time off. I know that it seems counterintuitive to not look for a job when you're looking for a job, but you just can't keep up the pace. You have to take time to really relax, rest, and rejuvenate so that you're ready for the next round when you are ready to get back to it. The key to a positive attitude is to see yourself in a future where you're not only maximizing your career, but you're just experiencing an overall sense of well-being. Consider yourself long-term. Don't look at this short-term right now. Look at the long-term. Look at your family. Look at your friends. Be involved with your community. You're going to have another job. What's that look like? What am I going to do to impact the world down the line? Where's my spot? These are the things you need to be thinking about. Make sure you're taking care of yourself physically. Make sure you're taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It's really an opportunity to look at yourself and say, this is okay. This is tough, but it's okay. I'm going to get through this, and I'm going to be better on the other side. Brian Tracy said, you can't control what happens to you, but you can control your attitude about what happens to you. And in that, you'll be mastering change rather than letting it master you. Change isn't always bad. Change usually is good. You just need to look for the good in the change. I'm that job guy, Dave Templeman. Thanks for listening, and please let me know how I can help you.